Rule number 1 of going to a convention: shower. Check. Rule number 2 of going to a convention: moisturize. People don't tell you that, but you gotta moisturize, okay? Keep your face nice and supple and slippery. Oh no, here we're off the rails. This is gonna be a little Breakout Con, or not, I've almost said Origins vlog because it's the only vlog I've ever done. But now it's not. I'm heading down to the Sheraton Convention Center in Toronto, Ontario, where I live. But yeah, I'm heading down to Breakout Con. So those of you who don't know what Breakout Con is, well, it's just a local convention here in Toronto. But I think it's actually going to be a little bit larger than just a meetup sort of conventions. I don't know what to expect. This is my first time attending. I've never felt the need to attend a convention in the city that I live in as well, because I always felt that I could just play games at home. And you can. But there's a certain draw to convention energy and going and potentially meeting up with new people and playing games with people who are just holding boxes up wanting to play stuff that I'm looking forward to. And it'll be a good time. It's just a 3-day event. It goes from Friday to Saturday. It was July 15th to July 17th. I'm sure it'll take me a little bit to edit this video and put it out. And I'm only attending for the first 2 days because I am heading out of town on Sunday. So unfortunately, I can't make the full Breakout Con experience. So if my Breakout Con is lessened, this is probably why. I think there is some merit to conventions, even if they are in your hometown, and even if it is just setting aside the time to go to it for just one day or a weekend, or setting aside that time to participate in what I can only assume is your favorite pastime. And if you have any other pastimes that you like more, well, then you're not allowed in the door. They have a strict screening process that will keep out all the riffraff and only allow the truest of hardcore gamers. So I'll film a little bit while I'm there. Honestly, the thing that I am the most excited about, and what I do love about these sorts of meetup conventions, I hesitate to classify it as a meetup convention because there seem to be like quite a decent number of events, but a lot of those events feel like they're more designed to the RPG crowd rather than the board game crowd. They do have a solid open library, about like 300 games, and I assume people will bring more. But the things I am most interested in checking out, and we'll see at the end of this vlog if I succeeded in those ambitions, is 1, the bring and buy. I will succeed in those ambitions because I know it exists. And 2, any sort of board game tournaments where you can play and win a copy of the game, although those might be drawn later on Sunday, which I can't attend. So we'll see how it goes. I will keep you all posted. This will not be as long as the Origins vlog, but I'll attempt to get some footage as we walk around the convention. I'm not going for the full day today either, because I am leaving for a contract on Sunday, and I still have people that I need to hang out with and would like to hang out with, but I'm going to consider that part of my gaming weekend, because I'm going to specifically leave Breakout Con to go to some friends' houses to drop something off and play some games with them. So I'm considering it as part of the whole shebang. I've worked nonstop to make sure I could take 2 days off, so I'm looking forward to sort of taking the 2 days off and always still giving in to the ever-present beast that is making content on YouTube, but obviously I do it because I enjoy it as well. Even if that meme that Zach made and posted in my little board game group is very accurate. So almost at the subway. I'll keep you posted when we get there, and yeah, we'll see what Breakout Con's all about and if it's worth attending these sorts of smaller conventions in your town. I'm cheap, right? Maybe you know this about me. We'll see if paying the cost for renting out the space is worth it, or if you should just plan your own board game convention and have it in your house. So we'll see. Maybe I'll put a hat on now that my hair's finally dried, and let's get going. Well, in today's adventures on the TTC, I saw a very nice gentleman go onto someone's Facebook profile picture and crop out a certain portion of that person's person and make it as their phone background. Welcome to Toronto. Apparently, better than Paris. And yes, I did just jump on back here because I thought of a better tagline. Looks like we know what the true city of love really is. Now, okay, I know I'm behind. I should be there by now, but I had to make a pit stop because my $1 Big Mac coupon was expiring. You know, you download these apps thinking they'll save you money, and it turns out they do. Here's the key. You order the $1 Big Mac, and then you order the free fries with the purchase of something else, and you just get them both, and you get yourself a nice little meal for like $2 to $3. That's the room and board way, baby. This is not sponsored by McDonald's. This would be sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's is the superior product, but you know, they haven't given me my sponsorship deal yet. We're still working out the contract. Wendy's, you give me a call. I will eat a quadruple burger in every single one of my videos moving forward. But thanks for the coupons, McDonald's. Wendy's, seriously, you my girl. Do you think they have games in there? It says it's fun. Shabang. All right, so we're checked in. Breakout Con 2022, which is actually 2020 because they haven't done it since then. So I'm just going to swing by and just show you. They've got a bunch of rooms set up, basically. This was similar to Origins in that there were a bunch of little side rooms and little events were taking place. But basically, these are all sorts of rooms, and we're gonna explore together, you and I. So the first one we got right here is the D&D Adventurers League, which is really cool. And on Sunday, which I'm really bummed that I'm going to miss, they've got this charity Quest for the Cure with some special guests. Anthony Rapp is a phenomenal actor, phenomenal singer. He was in Rent, so that's really cool. I would love to be here for that, but you know what, Anthony? I'm going to do my own show as well in Bruce County, Ontario. Let's check out the other sort of stuff. Then over, right as you enter, I can't really flip it. This registration desk, I ran into a couple friends who are running it, and then over here, we just have, we've got a couple little dice vendors. That's kind of cool, mini stuff. And then over here, we've got the open RPG event, which is cool. You can just go in, sign up, and maybe do a sort of one shot. I'll probably talk to them later. Let's just get a general overview of the things as we come. There's a nice little booth here selling some games. That's pretty sweet. The elevator room. It's known for its pitching, and no, I can't even make a joke about it. And we have the Catan National Championship schedule, which I might have been interested in signing up for. Nothing's happening in here. This is more like the tournament, special events, and late night gaming from when the larger hall is closed. I might have been interested in signing up for that, but I'm not here Sunday. Have I mentioned? And here it looks like we've just got some various kind of offshoot halls or little rooms for various events, board game events that are happening. Events in open gaming. We got an open gaming room over here. And maybe I'll go through and do another flip. Ooh, and then over here, we've got a big sort of, or big-ish, right? Like this, compared to Origins, like this isn't going to be anything, but it's cool to add a little bit of substance and a little bit of size to just what would be sort of a basic meetup. I'm going to get a shot of the other side of things. Here's your basic convention map. I came up there, then the role-playing area was here, and then the open role-playing was there, and then we walked along here, we've gone, remember the elevator floor, of course, there's some open gaming events, and then over here, which we're about to enter when we go by the vendor hall, which when I turn, you'll see it, that's going to be the open gaming area. We'll just walk through. Game library and the board game volunteers, and I think I see another friend who I actually met at Origins, my friend Billy. So I'm gonna wave, and he's gonna wave back. So I've sweet talked my way into being able to go behind the library lines and get some shots about what is on offer. So this is what you can play at Breakout Con currently in their open library, which is pretty cool. And there's a play to win section, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. So again, I think this is kind of fun. It's kind of like a collection tour, but this isn't even my collection. So we'll just go one at a time. You got some Solkin, which is great. I just talked about that in my shelf tour. Twilight Struggle, which I would like to play. Suro, which, I mean, if you're not playing the deluxe edition, that's worth $500. Should you play it? Trajan is super fun. I don't own this, but I have played it. And it's got this horrible rondel mechanic that I am just really bad at. Never really been a fan of Takedo. Unfathomable, that's great, because that's out now. Viticulture and the Tuscany expansion. Valletta, haven't heard of that one. That's cool. Of course, you got some Wingspan, some Zombie Flex, Wasabi. I'm on the outskirts here to make sure that I don't disrupt anyone. And it looks like there are, maybe down here, these are in shrink, so I assume they might be belonging to the play to win sort of area. Okay, oh man, this is a good shelf. We'll have to go through and rate which shelf is the best. This currently is the best because you also have Tigers and Euphrates, Terra Mystica, Takenoko. Basically, it's going to be whichever is compared to mine. Oh, that's smart that you have Summit here, because Inside Up Games is also here in the corner over there. And they're selling it, likely, if you missed out on the Kickstarter. Or ooh, we have Spirit Island Jagged Earth, which is the expansion. I assume the regular content is in there. Seasons. I love Seasons. I play so much Seasons on Board Game Arena that I can't play it in real life anymore because nobody matters. This people call Sidereal Confluence, but I call it Sidereal Confluence, and I think I'm right. So, say it with me. Sidereal. Space Base is great. Spectre Ops, I would be interested in trying. That'd be cool. Oh, this might be my favorite. I mean, I have Roll Through the Ages. Maybe I can learn how to play it here. And then Santorini is fantastic. Moving along. Marvel United, Medusa. Oh, I finally realized that they might be organized alphabetically. Nations, Notre Dame. I'd like to play Notre Dame. Or Notre Dame. Or Notre Dame. I think that's it. Of course, you can play Not So Fast. Or Onitama is one where I always see and I always say, I need to buy this immediately, but I've never played. Oh, that's a better panning. Planet, Power Grid, Princes of Florence, which I love, Puerto Rico, Quacks of Quedlinburg, which I still need to play. I'm really excited to get here early tomorrow. Raw. Yes, I would like to play Raw, because I need to play that for the World Series of Board Gaming so I can know how it plays. I mean, I do know how it plays. I've read the rulebook, obviously. But, and then Rex this is supposed to be the better version of Twilight Imperium because it's not so long. Rome, heard great things about Rome as well. Woo. I just get so excited seeing all these different games. London, I've heard good things. Libertalia, Lords of Waterdeep. Again, I haven't played Lost Ruins of Arnak, and I feel like I would like it because it's got two great mechanics in it. Inish is another one that I would like to play. See, I'm going to need to stay here for maybe 7 weeks. I think 7 weeks would be good. How long do you think it would take to play all these? It's about, I think, 300 games in here, almost 300, or maybe more than 300. I'm really being obnoxious, and Dave and Janessa are being very generous to me as I just encroach upon their space over and over.
This one's next. Ooh, damage copy. That's what she has to try next.
That's true. Everdell is so good. Oh, and Evolution. I'd like to play Evolution, which is over there. Because, see, this would have been great when I was writing the board game wrap, because I could have just looked at this alphabetical section. I'd like to play Evolution because that was supposed to be sent to me, and then it got lost in transit, and it never was there. And then the last bit of the shelf, Summer Wonders, A Distant Plane. That feels like a, oh yeah, Coin. Feels like a giant war game that I'm never going to play. Agricola. Artemis Project. I am very excited to play this at some point. I bombarded the designer at Origins and I said, listen, we got to play, because it was my pick of the week. And it looks fun, and it looks mean, and I like mean games. Few Azules, of course, Battlestar Galactica, which is great that they have it on the shelf. Between Two Cities, Blackout is Alexander Pfister. He designed Great Western Trail, and it I want to get it just based on how much I like Great Western Trail. And then we have Brass Birmingham, which I was just talking about to Billy when I cut the camera, and it is so fun. It is so good. I played it for the first time the other night and really liked it. Broom Service, which is a fun pick up and deliver. Oh, what a good selection. Castles Burgundy, the only copy that you need, which is the first edition. Castles of Mad King Ludwig, which is too long that I always call it Castles of Burgundy accidentally, like I did in my own shelf tour. And then finally we've got some Civilization. Oh, Kalis. The beautiful Kalis with the perfect... It does not have the my front cover, which is that weird man just glaring at you, but it's good. Chinatown, which is one of Renee's favorite games, and then some Clank. So that's kind of the board game shelf. And then the lovely Janessa has said that she's going to tell me about the play to win section of Breakout Con. So what is this play to win that can happen? Because honestly, that is what is the most exciting for me about sort of one of these sort of conventions, is because if you can win things, if you can go home with a prize, like, why is there not a reason to attend? That's what I'm thinking, right?
And there is no reason, because all you have to do is play the game. You just sign up. One person out of the party has to get ID, go play it at the end of the weekend. One of the people that played the game will win the game.
That's amazing. It. And when are these sorts of things drawn? Are they drawn on the last day, or
last day?
Cool. So you got to be here on the last day.
Yes, or someone there
in your proxy.
In proxy.
That's cool. And there are all these games over here that I'm about to show. Yes. Are the ones you can win?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to flip the camera, and then we're going to see them. Thanks, Janessa. Yeah, so these are all the potential ones that you can play to win. If you play them, you can win them. And, like, also, what a great, I'm going to turn this around for a second. What a great thing as a publisher to get involved in, really. Because if you want your games to be played at a convention setting, you should do this. People will play them because people like winning things. That just makes sense, right? So you got Vast, which somebody was saying in the Discord maybe that they wanted them. I'll have to double check. Haunted Mansions, I think they were looking for a different expansion. Maybe I can win that for them. Libertalia, which is the new Stonemaier edition. New York Slice. Oh, that's the one that Jana was telling me about. Ice Cool 2? That's pretty huge because that's a good dexterity one. There's some good ones. Skytear. This was the original. I reviewed Skytear Horde. That's the original. Rolling Realms, which I thought it would be bigger, but this is great. Oh, I'd love to win a copy of that. These are some good games here. The Resistance. Who's not going to want to play that at the end? Wonderful, which I've never heard of. Never heard of some of these. I mean, some don't seem like I'd be interested in them, but I could win a copy of Coup, basically. And then some Root as well. Good, I think. Did I miss Tapestry? Maybe Tapestry and Tiny Towns were brought back. I think they were. See, things are constantly in flux here when people are just finishing up a game. With Scythe, this is very exciting to me. It's not packed by any means, and I don't know. That's probably some with pandemic, but also something to do with just it being a local convention, right? People come for the crowds, people come for the exhibitor halls, but what you really want to do is come for the great gaming space, and it's a great gaming space. And yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, that's the basic overview. I just came to this hallway because it's a little bit more secluded, and also because that's just funny to have in the background. I know. I'll go play some games. I swear. I can't take them looking at me. But it's yeah. That's the overview of Breakout Con currently. Just the rooms that they have available. A nice big space. And honestly, I like it. I like the little vendors that I kind of walk by, all shy because I don't really, sometimes you don't want to interact with people, and that's not great when you're, filming vlogs. But I want to interact with you, so I guess that'll make up for it. Yeah, there's something really nice about a large gaming area set up really nicely. Where you can just check out games from the library, and they have people there who can teach them for you. That's my new friend Billy, who I met at Origins. He was working at the Burnt Island booth. We actually went to the same university. That's who was waving on the camera. He's going around teaching people games and making sure that everyone can learn some stuff, which is great because you always want that at a convention. To I feel like these libraries can be a bit overwhelming, and it's nice having somebody to be there teaching the games and allowing you to have access to some things that you may not have played before. It feels still a little bit intimidating. What I love, not intimidating, but what I love about the Niagara Board Game Convention is that there's a real culture of people sitting down and holding up a board game box, and you just go up and play. If you see someone holding up, they say we need players, you go and you join. And maybe it's because I'm now flying solo that I feel, there's that hesitancy. I was having a conversation with another friend of mine. I said, "Are you going to Breakout Con?" He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm too shy." And I get that, right? I understand that mentality, and I would like to see more systems in place from all these sorts of conventions of being able to meet more people. But I suppose that's the reason why you can sign up for actual events, right? Like that's the reason the tournaments exist. That's the reason why you want to sign up for these things, because they give you potential people to meet and potential partners or new gaming partners or new friends to find as well. So that's my initial thoughts. I'm going to go in there. Well, maybe we'll try to link up with the organizer and get the history of Breakout Con if we can, and then maybe I'll play a game before I have to take off for the evening. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to take off so that I can play more games. So we'll see. Okay. 2 updates. More stuff you can win. I always forget that my camera's there and not, where my thumb is or my eyes like an idiot. Come on, you've been doing this for over a year, Chris. Get in the game. Uh, two updates. One, you can win more things also in the RPG side of things, which is great. If you finish your like little one-shot campaign, I just went into the RPG room in the open RPG area. And I was like, hey, what's the deal? And they say, well, you can just pick from all of these different RPGs that are being offered, and you sign up with a group, and you make it happen. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then if the GM, the person who's running it, says that you guys you finished it, you didn't quit all the way through. Anytime you do like complete a little one-shot session, which can range from like an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, you get a little coupon, and you can stick it in a bag and potentially win like a core copy of a different system book or like $50 gift certificate to 401 Games. That obviously is the thing that piqued my interest, and I said, well, tell me more about that, good sir. And then I said, what sort of campaigns are you running? He's like, oh yeah, I just usually, we don't do that. Haven't been doing that much D&D. We've just been doing like Pathfinder and Vampire. And I just said, oh, of course. I also know what those things are very intimately, and don't need any further explanation. I know that it's like 1,000-year-old Vampire, and that's because there was a campaign that I covered in Crowdfunding Countdown, which used the same system about being a god. I'm fairly certain, and you're just really messing with the lives of ordinary people. As you do. Anyway, that's the update number one. Update number two is that there are these lovely signs, which I'll walk back over to the board game area and show you. Lovely signs that you can grab that said, game starting soon. And then you just have to hold up your box and see what happens. So I've only got about an hour to potentially play something. So maybe I'll get something light and say game starting soon. It feels like that would be hard to do, but there might be actually some demos that I could do, so maybe I'll do that instead. But look, this lovely, beautiful sign. Game starting soon. Or, even better that I see this now, teach us this game. We're looking for a teacher, which is great. I find like these sorts of things make it a lot more accessible in order to get things to the table. So, there we go.
I got one hit. Does somebody want to roll a blue for that little scarab?
I was pretty bad last time, so that's... Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I mean, that's okay. As long as I killed him, it's okay. So I lose 1 health because he hit me, and I didn't have a block. But I killed him, which is good.
That was a pretty fun little demo, and it took up the perfect amount of time. I'll talk about it in a second, but it's called Weirdwood Manor or something. Oh, I forget the name immediately. But try to get a preview of that for when they launch next year on Kickstarter. But pretty cool. A nice, neat little design in a rondel that still breaks my brain, but I don't like horrendously hate. And I feel like pretty accessible, solid art. It was a very positive demo. Okay, so I am here with Pete. He is the grand creator of Breakout Con, the one who brought Breakout Con, made it come to be. It has been single-handedly, without a team whatsoever. That's what he's been telling me. I don't know if this team's watching right now, but he did it entirely on his own.
You're gonna get me in trouble here.
No, obviously it takes a large team to sort of run these conventions.
Right.
But how did Breakout Con get started? Really, that's what I'm interested in.
Well, it was sort of the manifestation of many years of development in terms of the board gaming community here in Toronto. So a very good friend of mine, who I've been friends with since junior high days, we've been longtime board gamers. We came up with the idea of creating a board gaming society back in the early 2000s. We had gone down to Origins in the early 2000s and come into contact with a group there called the Columbus Area Board Gaming Society.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we got very sort of inspired. They had some sort of operational differences in terms of the way the organization worked there in terms of elected positions. We sort of felt that there was a lot more rules and so on. So we thought we would come back to Toronto, meet with a couple of friends that we really kind of knew and were very passionate about it, because we felt that Toronto's a huge city.
Yeah.
There must be a thriving community here. We're just not meeting anybody, right?
Right.
If we go to the odd convention there was in Toronto at that time, we'd always see the same faces. So we thought we could probably do something, right? And the internet was really becoming a medium by which you could start to really branch out, and people were kind of really catching on.
Right.
So we actually formed a group called the Toronto Area Board Gaming Society back in 2004 as a Yahoo group back in the day.
Amazing.
And we registered it, we set it up. And out of the blue, within a matter of days, we started getting emails from people that we'd never heard of, never knew, who were very interested. And within a month or so, we actually had enough people, I think it was like 12 or 14 of us, to actually have our first event.
Cool.
It was held in the party room at someone's condo.
Nice.
We, dubbed it Condo Con. And that's how things began back in September 2004. Within a year, we had grown by 6 times our number, moved to a larger condo, and now we were running quarterly events. So every 3 months.
You took over the whole condo.
We took over the party room anyway.
Yeah.
But the price was cheap. It was like $2 for the day. It was not about making money. It was really just about encouraging people to come out.
Yeah.
We invested in buying some tables and so forth. But really, it was about low-key, non-heavily structured, organization. Really about getting together and getting to know the community. We had for many years been, encouraged or asked by people to me why don't you do something bigger, instead of just this one-day event. And we sort of began really thinking about it and what would that look like. And sometime around 2015 or so, we said, look, okay, I think we can make this work, but we don't want it to be just board gaming because tabletop gaming is really what it should be about.
Yeah.
And Dave and I actually both had sort of, cut our teeth on D&D way back when. And, I sort of had still kept up with some role-playing games from time to time with some very old friends. So I still had the passion, but we didn't have the connections into the industry at that time.
Right.
And so what we felt was why don't we reach out to people who really know the RPG community in Toronto and see what we can do with that. And we really struck gold because we met a group of a core of 3 people who were with the Toronto Gamers Association and or Role Players Association, and they really just sort of gave us huge insight into what was happening with the RPG scene. It's not just D&D, of course. There was so much more, and they were much more dialed into a lot more of the initiatives that we had hoped to do, but it was much harder for us to sort of be aware of. Was
right.
Things about building diversity, and basically just generally awareness. Really trying to encourage designers who didn't look like me or didn't look like you.
Yeah.
But the incredible pool of talent out there of people who are from across the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And we wanted to really push that and make sure that Breakout was, given the kind of reputation that really encouraged and supported people who, again, didn't look like me, right?
Yeah.
So, and wow, we were so surprised by the incredible pool of talent out there and just the sort of how lovely they were and what a pleasure they were to work with. And I think really that's how Breakout just sort of took off, because it wasn't just about providing a space, but a place that people said they felt safe,
Yeah.
and well represented and supported and cared about. And we've tried to stick to those principles very closely. And I think we've been largely successful. We've heard, if you're basing your success on the feedback of others, then I think that we can be proud of what we've done here, right? So it's been pretty good. And
that's cool. Well, because I knew that you were involved in Tabs as well. For those of you, Tabs Con, it's just that one-day event, right? And I was going to ask, how much overlap do you find between Tabs Con, the people who attend Tabs Con and people who attend Breakout Con? Have you found that Breakout has more of a larger draw because I know you've got more things at it? Because Tabs is more board games, right?
100% board games,
right? It's there's you don't have that RPG element to it, and
right.
you don't have vendors or booths or whatever.
Well, we've had some limited vendors over the years at Tabs Cons, but it's not really been the same thing. In fact, we always have a store there.
Cool.
Sheep has been traditionally showing up and been our vendor on site, which has been fantastic. We've had the odd one now and then, but I don't think people really come to Tabs Con specifically for those things.
Yeah, it's just because it's a day to set aside to game.
Yeah, and it's $5. You come in. We have a lot of things on site. We have the auction, which will be a smaller version of the big auction that we're going to have tomorrow.
Which is it's my favorite part about attending a convention.
It's great
because I love the deals.
Yeah, and of course we started that at Tabs Con. The whole bring and buy concept.
Cool.
And it took off so well, became so popular that when we set it up here, it just then went by 3 or 4 times the size, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's so funny to see, right, when you see people walking to the cashier and they've got literally an armload, they're being weighed down by this huge cache of games.
Yeah.
But it's also brings a huge smile to your face because you're like, this is great.
Yeah.
And you can tell how happy they are too to score some deal or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So
That's cool. And then, so in terms of like attendance, do you find there's a lot of crossover? Like most TabsCon people will probably attend Breakout Con, or
yeah,
no?
I would say a great many.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for
that's
sure.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean some may decide that they don't want to pay the price or
Yep.
whatever it's to, or maybe the timing doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But there have been so many new faces as well,
Right.
and Breakout reaches a larger audience.
Yeah.
It sort of does a little bit of what we do at TabsCon, but just does it at a much further and extensive level.
Right.
And I think that, again, that has that enormous appeal to it, right?
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then just like brief how much work does it take to put on a Breakout Con? Because I know I was talking to one of your associates up there, David Kingsmill. We played games together before, and he was saying that he was brought onto the team because he was working at Snakes and Lattes, which is a game cafe here in Toronto, and he was brought onto the team to do 2020, and then the world shut down, and then we're finally back to do it. But like on a standard year, how much effort goes into organizing it? Like it's always here at the Sheraton because that's like downtown Toronto. Is that correct?
Well, the initial two breakouts were actually at a smaller hotel, which was right by Yorkdale,
Nice.
and that hotel's gone now, like entirely gone.
Well,
off the face of the earth.
It's because as soon as Breakout left, people were like,
right.
"What's
Why
the draw?
bother?" Exactly.
Why would I show up here?"
For sure. So, but we outgrew that place very quickly.
Yeah.
And we actually got into a situation in our second event that we actually sold out on Saturday, and in a situation that while good, you don't ever really want to have as an event organizer where you're having to turn people away.
Right. Yeah.
So that was why we really decided to look very hard at better locations, and we really scored gold compared with the Sheraton downtown because it's much larger space with much more room to grow.
Yeah.
And the hotel staff has been very, very wonderful.
That's great.
But I mean, it's very important that I point out that based on your question,
Yeah.
just how instrumental it is as any convention organizer, I'm sure knows, to have a solid team.
Right.
As a co-owner, and basically the person sort of in charge of logistics and operations, I'm touching on everything, even if I'm not handling everything. And we make sure everybody has large portfolios of work to do. It's sort of my job to make sure that I have a sense of what each person is doing. So if somebody, whatever, they can't answer the question, if they're away or whatever, at least I have some semblance, at least I know where to look and so forth.
Yeah.
Right? So,
oh no, for sure. I mean, like tiring. When I came up to see you, I saw you running back and forth between all the volunteers. Like, hey, no, this is what needs to happen. Right. And then even just like my communication being like, hey, give me a free pass. I'm media. I was even in that, like I interacted with you on the email because you're that sort of central. Because I know there's like a huge amount of work and like you need a team in place, but also like so just in terms of like actual time, I'm curious, like time of. When would you start planning for the next one? Immediately after? And then you'd have like monthly meetings?
Yeah, so we're in a bit of a unique situation because we're going back to our March scheduling.
Right, yeah.
So, and of course, we're just coming out of July now. Yeah. So we're not going to get the same level of reprieve that we normally would, which would be a few months before we really have to resume meetings again.
Right.
We're probably looking at 1 to 2 months. Now, a lot of the foundational work's there, the website being a key part of that.
Yeah.
We had a lot of development work done over the last couple of years. So we won't have to redo that.
Right.
Yeah, but, there's other things too, right? And because it was a year of sort of a regrowth year.
Yeah.
Coming off of 2 years of lost revenue and opportunity.
Right.
We did a more scaled down event this time. Summertime, the hotel has less space to give, but also because we didn't want to try and bite off more than we could chew. We don't want empty halls.
True.
So we never knew, based on the fact that we're still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
How receptive the public would be to even our best effort to try and contain it, right? So
right.
Better to be smart about it, take a smaller space. I'd rather have full halls than empty ones, even if it's less space, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was proven to be a good decision, based on what we're seeing so far. Right?
That's good. I mean, that's good. This is my first Breakout Con. I've never been to one.
Fantastic.
So I was excited to check it out, but that's also like a great reference point for me in terms of like the size and scale. How many people book tickets for this one versus like your usual numbers outside pandemic, right? Because I know even like at Origins or at people who I talked to at Origins were like, man, this was a lot smaller than we were expecting. And I think that's sort of a natural transition because we're still getting used to being back in the world, right?
That's right. Right. And I think a lot of people too are naturally concerned about how safe is it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. I mean, people, if you were if you had not purchased the pass for Breakout at this point,
Yeah.
and you were thinking about it, it's hard not to be aware of the fact that we're now in another wave of
Yeah.
of the COVID, and people are becoming again concerned about what's going to happen, right? And totally justifiable. Now we've obviously instituted some pretty strong policies that are not in line with, at any level of government. We
Yeah.
tried to go much heavier, kind of like Origins had.
Yeah.
Because better to come down a little more heavily and err on the side of caution.
Yeah, right? Like it's,
Yeah.
you can be safe and be considerate, or you can not be, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and so we know that wasn't for everyone's taste. We certainly got some feedback from people who were, would have liked to have come, but maybe couldn't wear a mask or whatever.
Right, yeah.
We respect those decisions, but we're not going to adjust on just based on trying to make people feel happy.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that we're worried about their safety first. And
Yeah.
that, I think, again, will play well in terms of the decisions that are made and how it reflects on us. Are we being a responsible organization to everybody at the event?
Yeah.
And if people want to criticize us for that, well, so be it. I can live with that decision. I think it's the right decision. We stand by it.
Totally.
But the team's been wonderful. And, they've all done a ton of work, and and that is, as any convention organizer will tell you, that is instrumental, right? You can't possibly do it all, or even close to it all. And you need a good team of people who understand the industry, understand their particular focus well, and are driven by the same interest that you are in terms of helping to do something that's going to be remembered within the community.
Yeah.
That stands out, right? And it's really great. Like, there are people who are not really, I don't see in tabs, but who've come up to me, who recognize me from past breakouts that they've come to, and have thanked me, and talked about the great time they had and so on too.
That's awesome.
Even like, I had someone who was the father of a friend of my daughter's that were at a party and had heard that I was like the guy in charge of Breakout. And he came out of his house to introduce himself. And I
amazing.
my daughter. And so it's a totally random situation.
That's awesome.
Like, I was like, this is great. Yeah.
Cool.
So, we're out there. We're making an impact.
Yeah.
It seems to be a very positive one.
And fostering that sort of community, which I love to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, in Toronto, I want everybody to be playing board games, because then I can always get a game,
Yes.
no matter the day.
Yeah. I mean, Toronto is a huge board gaming community.
Yeah.
But I would say, from what we have learned over the years from tabs and so on, most people play within a relatively small circle of friends, usually in their homes, and don't ever come out to the events.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's here or in Canada or in the US or whatever. Right? Maybe they might go to Essen or something for a novelty thing, but it's just very much still low key. Because if you go to a game store and you see some guy buying a ton of games, and you're like, and he's obviously an experienced board gamer, or she's an experienced board gamer.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen you before. How is this possible? And they're like, well, we just play with our friends, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Well, that's a good thought too.
Yeah.
Like that also is one of the reasons why I haven't attended a major convention before.
Right.
Like, before starting the YouTube, I never was interested in going to conventions, really, because I was like, I have my own group. I play what I want.
Yeah.
I'll do it here. But it's easy to see and feel the sense of community that happens when you are at one of these conventions and one of these larger meetups. And it's really enjoyable to be in a space with people who are passionate and really like the same things.
Absolutely. And what's very interesting too is that you can have a very diverse set of characters, and not just talking about ethnic diversity, but politically diverse. We've had people who've come in with shirts that say maybe represent some political views that are not necessarily in alignment with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I can sit down and play a board game with them because we're not going to talk politics. We're going to sit down and enjoy a common interest in a hobby that we both love.
Yeah.
And putting that aside, we'll bridge our differences by playing a game, right? And I think that's really important. I think we're all starting to recognize how disturbing it is when we see these fundamental shifts and rifts forming within society.
Yeah.
We're not even willing to talk to one another, or we can't have an amicable conversation or rational conversation with one another anymore. And I think, it's things like, it's the common things within the human element, the food, or, our hobbies that allow people to come together fundamentally and put aside those differences because they have that common interest.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that we have communities that are helping to encourage that.
Yeah.
Whether that was, and I can't necessarily say credit for that being our initial
I'm
intention.
pretty sure Breakout. What I'm getting from this is that Breakout Con has saved humanity, and only if you attend
Yes.
Breakout Con will you be able to be part of this movement of compassion and
Maybe.
social responsibility.
I'm just waiting for that check from Trudeau. That's
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
Right.
Awesome. Well, yeah, Pete, I won't take up too much more of your time. This was really fun hanging out.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Thanks for sitting down, and
Yeah.
and there's a little bit more behind the scenes, and I'll keep filming a little bit more. And I thought this vlog might be shorter than the Origins one, but it's gonna be longer
All right.
because this is Toronto, baby. Thanks so much, Pete.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. So finishing up for the day. I can't even remember what I filmed now. No, I can remember what I filmed. I'm exiting the convention area so I can take this off and say hi to you all. And I'm going to put it back on to be on the subway so somebody doesn't spit in my mouth, which you never know in Toronto. Hopefully that's not tomorrow's Tales from the TTC story. Yeah, it was good. I'm actually really excited that I tried that demo. I'm going to get them to give me a copy for review for when it comes out on Kickstarter next year, because I told them, I was like, listen, this is fun and I want to tell people about it, so give me. Now I'm heading back to play more games, specifically with some people, and it'll be a great time. Okay, bye. Oh yeah, I haven't said my non-catchphrase yet. Okay, bye. The options for the evening.
Oh, no.
This is going in the vlog, Colin. Well, a very successful game day that I didn't film. I'm sorry. I should have filmed more stuff so you could get a sense more of the blog. But we played. What did we play? Oh, please, no parking ticket. Oh, that makes it a doubly successful game day. So we started out with some Veiled Fate, and that was great. We played with 5 players. And then we transitioned to some Catan, I think. Yeah, we played a 6-player game of Catan. That's what the group wanted to do, and that was solid. And then we played some Cockroach Poker, and then everybody enjoyed Veiled Fate so much that we played another game of Veiled Fate. And that one was less exciting, but I'm really glad that we played it, because I can see where it really shines, and then also where it doesn't, because we were a little less tired. There were a little less sneaky things going on, and then that made for a less exciting experience. It's one of those where you really want to have energy because so much of the game happens above the table. I think that's how you get it done. And we finished off with some coup, which yeah, I won both games of coup. No big deal. Oh, the lights are gone. It is no big deal because coup takes like 5 minutes to play. But yeah, it was a solid night. I need to get to sleep so I can really experience the Breakout Con library. I'll just tell you what I play, really, because there's not going to be too much more. But I am excited to go early and film what's on offer for the Bring and Buy, and then maybe film everybody grabbing all the good deals before me, because I can't grab the deals because I'm in there filming beforehand, but you know, that's how it is. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Hope this is sort of interesting, because it's a little bit interesting to me. Okay, bye. Well, on the road again to Breakout Con Day 2. I mean, I think the vlog's pretty much over. We're just gonna do a bring and buy, and that's about it.
Don't show me on there.
Don't show you on there? Okay, I'll cut that out. Goals of the day. 1, film the bring and buy auction. That's what you're gonna see next. 2, play a game with my new friend Billy. 3, play a game. Yeah, you should not have gone this way.
I know.
3, don't get in a traffic accident. 4.
Well, when they make the streets so friggin' narrow, how do they expect anyone to drive on both sides?
I mean, it is narrow. I'm giving the video shade as if it isn't.
Rude.
4, play a game with Jenna Rose.
Ooh, what is that?
Okay, we're not here at an antique shop. Well, I mean, you can. I'm gonna hop out and go to the
You
subway.
never know. We've gotten a lot of our furniture free.
That's true. That's the room and board way. Cheaper and free, baby. Let's go to the bring and buy. Okay, bye. Well, in today's adventures on the TTC, I wish I had something horrible to tell you. Actually, I don't, because then that would mean that, humans are horrible, which we are. But I saw this bomb Slytherin sweater, and I wanted to ask this woman where she got it. But then, she had headphones on. The cardinal rule is if you have headphones on the TTC, you are not to be disturbed because you just don't want to. And so it wasn't worth it for me to find out that information and then say, oh, cool, and then not do anything about it. But we're back here at Breakout Con. I'm actually picking up a copy of Attack on Titan, the deck builder, for one of my patrons, hopefully, as long as shipping isn't too much, because I talk about that game way too much, that anytime I see a copy of it on like Kijiji or Facebook or whatever for cheap, I am going to buy it, and I will get it into all of your hands who should play it. So, gonna meet up with them and then check out the Bring. So we are just gearing up for the. I'm gonna go to a corner of the room because it's easier. We're gearing up for the Bring and Buy auction. Everybody is doing some last minute stuff. People have brought in their games. There's a cutoff time for 11:30, and then at 12 o'clock the doors will open. The floodgates will emerge, and people will come in and scoop up all of these delicious games, and it's awesome. It's cool. Like it's maybe it might be too far out of the price range, but what I do love about the Bring and Buy, and I'll go through and kind of go and see what the potential deals could be, but you get stuff like this, and this is what I love. At 12 p.m. it's worth 40. At 2 p.m. it's worth 35. At 4 p.m., which is, when I'm going to be coming back here, because I'm not interested in the 12 and the 2 p.m. prices, it would be 30. So just being able to, I don't know, it gamifies getting games, right? And being able to get those deals. And if you want it and you want to make sure that you get the deal, yeah, you should pick it up at 12. But I'm never interested in doing this. I can wait years for a good deal, which is how I got Terra Mystica for $30. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is they've graciously let me in to peruse the area, and I'll just film, and maybe we can talk about the games and talk about some of the prices and see if we can see the good deals that will likely be scooped up. And then obviously I'm waiting till 4, so no conflict of interest here, don't you worry. I'm not abusing my YouTube authority to get in it. Oh my goodness, is that our no, just kidding. So here's all the stuff you can get. Oh, so let's see what Terraform Mars is going for. See, that's a good price. It's got punch components. You'd say the condition, 35, 30, 25. That's good. I think I got mine for like 20. No, I didn't. I got it for 30, and I got that at the Niagara Board Game Convention as well. This is interesting. You have a Pandemic Legacy, and you have base Pandemic on the brink. Components, everything. It's not Legacy, but it's room for more expansion. So you're just getting Pandemic, a bundle in there. But for $30 for Pandemic and the On the Brink expansion, I feel like these are some pretty good games. Or a shrink copy of Pandemic Legacy 2 for $55. Oh, I mean, I could go through this for hours. I think just looking at every single thing. I only brought $30 though to limit myself and make sure I don't go crazy, which is fair. What else do we have? Classic Quedlingberg, 55, 45, 35. You see how waiting till 4 is the deal. Imperial Settlers, 35, 25, 15. That's pretty good. Dark Moon and Shrink. That's cool. 50, 37, and then 30. You'll see that coming back at 4 is the way to go. Unless you want something that you really want. So let's just go through. Oof. This is a big box that is hard to be filled. Wow. Yeah, see, that's not getting sold. Unless you're coming here looking specifically for that. All right, let's move through a little bit more. Oh, Nyrim. I've heard good things about an Nyrim. Uh-oh. Riverside, that's currently in our sorry, this just took my breath away. Oh, beautiful, beautiful Rising Sun. And the Daimyo box. Oh, that's for potentially $250 for this big wooden box. That feels good at 4 p.m. That feels nice. And obviously the same Flashpoint. That's a gorgeous box. Oh no. Luckily, I don't have that much money and can't do it. Riverside, I have this in. This is currently in our Hidden Gems death match, and I forget if it won. I think it did, and I think it beat a contender too. Century. There's a lot of games in here in Shrink that are surprising. Oh, this is the Century bundle. That I assume. Let's see how much that is. 80, 70, 60. That's what it says. Blackout Hong Kong. I bet this is 25 because I've often seen it online for 25. That'll be 15 at 4. I don't want to touch things too much and really, mess up the system that everybody has worked so hard to make happen, and then I hear just some idiot person is coming in and messing with their stuff right away. Tricarian? Oh no. I'm seeing a lot of games that I would quite like. And if they're a deal, and I think they might be, I'm a bit scared that I'm going to immediately go and get a bunch of money out of a machine. I'm a bit scared. Tricarion for 40. See, I don't look for the top price. You come back at 4. That's what you do, and you hope somebody doesn't take it. Gloomhaven Forgotten Circles in Shrink. This is the best thing about board gamers is that, we buy too much and our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, and that's why my channel exists. But also, that's why Bring and Buys exist, and I'm on board. We got a little bit of Dice Throne. Oh, amazing. If this is just a 2-pack of Dice Throne for $10, I will absolutely buy that. Oh no. And this is just one table. There's so many more. There's so many more. All right, let's go through a little bit quicker. Ticket Ride India, that's okay. It's not bad. It's got circles. That's overpriced though. See, you're gonna get some that are overpriced. That's guaranteed overpriced. Trains, I got Trains for 15. Trains is fantastic though. Above and Below. Oh, we got some more Dice Throne. We got a lot of Dice Throne in here. This is the full season 1 for 35. And this is what you would do. You would go and say, okay, that's Dice Throne Season 1. This is Dice Throne Season 1. Let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned bidding war. Because if it's still there at the end, for $20? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Massive Darkness 2, Hellscape and Heavenfall in here. That's pretty good. Oh, and the Game Genic Quest and some extra dice and some Zombicide. That's not bad. It was like $150 for me after shipping for that one. That's pretty good. Get some books. Ingenious. Yeah, I could spend days in this room. People are gonna be fighting each other like mad beasts, or just very kind and considerate. But no, gamers who want a deal, honestly, it can get it can get spicy. Ooh, let's see, Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. I just picked this up off Kijiji for 25. Let's see if that was my. Yeah, I got a deal. Vindication is a fun game. It's very expensive, so being able to get it for 70 feels like the price that I want to pay. Ooh, Furnace, I heard good things about this. This is lighter than I expected. But $15? Oh no, I do not have the bags. I do not have the bags for all the things that I want to get. Luckily, if I'm excited about it, more people will be excited about it, and they will go before I have a chance. See, this is where you can get Seafall. Never played, like new. $25, $18. This is a steal if you can get it. I really like Seafall, even though not a lot of people did. It kind of got panned. What else? What did I just see here that I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, Set a Watch. Also in my the Hidden Gems deathmatch right now. People say this plays best at solo. This plays at 15. Sorry if my filming isn't as exceptional as it could be. Welcome to With Zombies and the Other and Ice Cream mini expansions. That sounds fun. $20. That's pretty good. All right, let's keep going. This seems like a nice table over here already immediately. Ooh, we've got a bunch of a little bit of everything in the Reaper lot. Don't know what that means, but that's cool. Battlestar Galactica. I'm betting this is 100 or 200. Let's see.
Yeah, some of the prices seem pretty optimistic. I'm not allowed to make fun.
It's 100 at 4. That makes sense. Mariposas. Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. I really enjoyed that. We have a copy of Raw. I think I saw another copy of Raw somewhere as well. This is sort of the older edition. And then we're going to have the old edition. And then we have everything. Mombasa, which I've always been interested to try. And then, you know, the colonization aspect. Oops. Kind of puts me off. Sorry. Flowers of Russians. For 50, no, that's not going to happen. This will still be here at the end of the day. Right? You're going to get these games where people are like, okay, I'm bringing it in if somebody wants to pay a bunch of money. See, this is still for 130, 145, basically. That might go because people like Vital Lacerda. Yamatai, Minnetonka, Queen Domino, Tiny Towns and Shrink. You can win a copy of this, I think. 30 bucks, that's not bad. Another Minnetonka, another Blackout Hong Kong. Let's see what this one's going for. Maybe 10. People must really not like this game. I saw this game for like super sale for 25 bucks, and I think that's what people got it. This is the newer Dune that somebody clearly didn't try. So many games in Shrink here, which is really good. Oh, I just got Manhattan Project off of my neighbor, and I'm excited to play it. 25, that feels okay. Syndicate, this is a cool box. This is a really cool box, actually. For 50 bucks, not willing to take a chance. Ooh, another Trains. Let's see. Are you the better Trains? 16. I still got it by $1, but 16 at 4. Again, I'm only talking about the end price, not to like hype it up unnecessarily, but because that's what I am willing to pay. And if you can get a good deal, you can get it missing 1 dice for 1 faction. You could rig your own, use the prototype parts for 10. Dice Throne, the Champion Edition of Season 1, I think. 6 hero boards. That's still pretty good. For 10 bucks, see, this is how you get Dice Throne, baby. On Tour, I wasn't a huge fan of On Tour. Clank, that's the second Clank that I saw. There are some fantastic deals here, though. That's what's really exciting. Ooh. Scythe for 45? That's less than I paid for it. And then we have to take a try at Asia, which is out of print, which my parents ordered. And this is like exceptional for 20, honestly. That's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and get some money. I see something over there that I'm very excited about. Oh, Peak Oil. I love Peak Oil Profiteer, which is coming out. I just got the confirmation of my copy of the shipping. I would definitely pick up that to try out. Oh no, this is not good, is it? We've got I think this is Brooms. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. Ares Expedition. That's a potential. Oh, Ghost Stories. Yeah, I can pick up another copy for Renee because she loves her ghosts and she loves her stories. Yeah, see, that's. Oh, we have White Moon and the Guardhouse. So you got all the expansions in there for 60. It's not horrible. And then this is what I said I would treat myself to if it was here, and I'm gonna do it, but I will only do it there. Then we have Castles of Burgundy. Wow, this is an in-shrink copy of the older edition with 4 expansions. And you see, remember when the expansions were like, oh, there's so many expansions. You see how like little actual contents the expansions are. It's great like content, but it's not like, you know, content. It's not like physical actual things. And that's why like when Awakened Realms was like, hey, we're putting in everything. It's like, yeah, okay, that's fine, but it yeah, it's not. It didn't blow me away in that way, and I think that's why I also thought it was kind of a bit overpriced because you can easily print out that stuff for a lot cheaper. Okay, let's keep moving. We got a couple other things. We got this table in the middle to still swing by, and then we got over here. We got another Battlestar Galactica. That's three. This is a 2 count of Battlestar, and then we'll see what happens when we get to the middle because I saw another one there. 5 minutes. Wow. Wow. Yeah. See, no, thank you. Get lost with that price. We have another Shikarion. And that's for 60. I think the other one was cheaper, or it's around the same. Survive, Small World, lots of Small Worlds, lots of Imperial Settlers, because this was recommended and it's not that good. Tales of Arabian Nights. I think I know who brought that in. Another Mariposas, another Betrayal. That's great. Got some risks over there in the corner. We got 5 minutes, so we got to speed through to see. This is kind of exciting though. It's just like a big auction. Oh, the others with the actual minis. I mean, I homebrewed them, but that's tempting. Although I would prefer if it was that price instead of that price. Gloomhaven 105. That's great. We got some Chronicles of Crime. 20. Oh, that's a really nice printout that you didn't have to do. But smart marketing to get your game sold. That will sell because of that printout. Neon Far, Escape Room, the Game, Bang, the Bullet, which is different than Bullet, which has just come out. 7th Continent for 95. That's pretty good. We got Under Falling Skies over there. Oh, Dinosaur World. But this is like Kickstarter just came in and people are trying to recoup their costs, right? Netrunner, which people are wanting to get starting with, and strategy play. That's pretty good for Netrunner. I mean, I don't think Netrunner's great. Oh yeah, here's our 3rd Battlestar Galactica. This is one. Ooh, see, this is the one. That's the one you get. Another Pandemic Legacy. We got lots of Pandemic Legacies here. Few Chronicles of Crime trying to get set off. The Yido Master Set. This one actually was something I'd be interested in trying. The Bombaleo. This is the smaller version still of Bombaleo or Bombolio. $45. The Star Wars Escape Room. Oh, how could anyone get rid of this beautiful game? Kickstarter version of the game included all the stretch goals. Daimyo extra content all packed in the main box. Yikes. This is going to be packed to the brim. We have Picture Perfect, which is actually the board game matchup that's happening today. Where you're making in our Hidden Gems death match right now. That's sturdy. Oh yeah, this is going to be a way longer video than Origins. Maybe I'll put it out in 2 videos. That might be cool. Maybe I will do that. Or we'll just do it all in one bulk. Why not? Just if I do it 2, I can probably do it cheaper. Oh, an expansion for Ghost Stories just on its own. That's cool. Ooh, another Small World. Small World is the #1 game that's being thrown away. But also, there's Arkham Horror. I think is probably the second one. This is a great price at 90. That's a really good price for this. Dune. Who's getting rid of Dune? How dare you? $30. Dune is so cheap anyway that that's not like a huge deal, but it's great. Arkham Horror, the card game, for $10 at the end. If that's still here, I've heard so much about it on the Discord that I may have to take it. Oh, Funfair. Oh my goodness. If that's still here at the end, I may have to take it. But I don't imagine it will be, right? Like, it's easy to be in here, like, without anybody, and then I'll show you a thing of the lineup, basically. Pret-a-Porter, that would be cool. Imperial Assault. Terran Maple City. Oh, that one's a good gateway. The Edge, Dawnfall. We got some big stuff. Oh, and Shrink. I am very surprised at how much in shrink stuff there are. Stop showing me. Show the games. Camera person. As if it isn't me. Underwater Cities for 25. That's pretty good. Again, like some of these won't go for 25. Or turn it around. Atlantis Rising. New Valir. Let's see what Atlantis Rising is, because people really like that in our co-op. 45. That's no. Honestly, if it's not more than 50% off MSRP for this sort of thing, I would get it at a different place, because those are the deals you want to get. And Raw, there's the other copy of Raw, which is out of print. Never played. Going for $30, which I would absolutely pick up. Somebody will pick it up though. But there are two versions, and I would like to play that. But I might play that this time. Thunderbirds, another version, older version of Catacombs, a couple Spirit Islands, a couple Rocket Band, and this is the last thing. All right, so it looks like we're gonna get started. The doors are gonna be open pretty soon. I'm gonna get out of everybody's way and kind of just watch the madness and see what people get. I think that'd be kind of fun. I'm gonna go to an ATM. That's the thing. Okay, bye. The doors are being closed, and then you can see the rush of people heading in. It's not that many people, but they're gonna get some good deals, and that's pretty exciting to me. We'll just pan down the line, see it's heading out the door, but I think it stops there, maybe. So really, not that long in terms of the amount of games and the amount of deals that can actually be in there. Right now, it is 11:52. When I arrived, it was at 11:30. So if you want to get your first dibs at all the deals, you want to get there like half hour before. Really make sure you line up and really make sure you're ready for the madness to begin. I love it. This is like my paradise, because I love a deal, because I'm such a proponent of cycling your games and getting stuff on the secondary market too. Like, I like supporting, obviously you have to support the publishers that you like, and you have to support the game stores that you like and you want to keep in business, but there's also the sense where, oh, I had something pointed to say and I forgot it. No, there's also the sense where there are so many games that exist in the world, and so many good games, so many games that you'd want to try, but you may not gel with. And I think these sorts of opportunities are perfect to grab that game that you're not sure about, because it's what, a $10, $20 investment. You can play it a couple times. If you don't like it, you bring it back to the bring and buy. I know for sure that any of these bring and buys have been brought back multiple times. Maybe that's why you see the prices decreasing. They tried at this price, they tried at this price. The key to getting a good deal is always patience. And if you have the patience and you have the time, like, this is why I'm so against the call to the new, almost. You know, like, I kind of have to be involved in it because of it being YouTube and people be searching for it, right? But at the same time, if you can avoid that, down the line, you see all of those incredible games that have just been out for a while and have been in circulation, and people have played them, and you've gotten confirmation that they are good, or you've gotten confirmation that you might enjoy them. Now you can get them for cheaper. And if you are on this cycle, I do the same thing with like video game systems. I wait until the new video game system comes out. You know, back when I played video games and didn't spend all my time on YouTube, I wait until until the newest video game system comes out. Then you buy the old one, and you have all those games. And if you're just a generation behind, or a couple steps behind, like, you know, I am in most things in life, but if you're just a generation behind, or in that, then you can get things for such a great deal. And you can get more of them, and you can enjoy them more, and you can really, well, you can enjoy them the same amount probably, but they're also vetted in a way, which is an interesting thing about coming to one of these sort of smaller conventions, especially in the board game library. I think more with Niagara, and I'll talk a bit about that at the end. No, I'll just talk about it now because we're here. Like, being able to have a curated selection of games is awesome, and that's what makes these sorts of meetups better than Origins. That's what Matt was saying on our sort of Origins Council of Four. That sounds obnoxious, but I forgot what I was calling it when we talked about our different experiences at Origins. The fact that you're playing all the new games and they're not as curated and they're just trying to sell it to you, versus at a big meetup you have people bringing their games and just playing things that they like, really. And that's what I think is really cool about this sort of thing. That is also why I feel having an existing library like this, well, while it's good, and I like the library, we took a walk through it, I think something like Niagara, which encourages people to bring their own games, because that's how the game library is formed, through everybody just puts their games on the side and people can play them, and it's just, like an honor system, like don't ruin somebody's stuff. And there haven't been issues, at least in the 1 year that I did the Niagara Board Game Convention. Having access to that and the ability to do that is great because it's vetted, right? These are games that people love. They're bringing because they love them and because they want to share them, and that is awesome. Oh, we're getting an announcement. I'm going to see if I can get it. That was Pete just going around to the line and saying, "Hey, be nice. Don't tackle anybody. The doors are about to open. We know there are some deals in there, but be nice about it and get yourself some little treats. Stay away, Slippery Jim. You're not allowed here."
It's something safe, a little bit of treats.
Oh my God.
Oh.
What
Yeah,
is he?
come here.
He found me.
Come here, I'm gonna get you.
He found me.
Mm.
Full swing. So basically, I've just been standing outside the bring and buy like a creeper because, well, trying to avoid Slippery Jim for one, and where deals are to be had. That's the best way to get them off the scent. And then two, because I take such thrill in seeing people get games that they like. I really do. It's very exciting. I like seeing what people bring out that I thought was a good deal or was potentially interested in. Because it's like, it's fine. If I don't want to buy everything. It's great that people are relieving my own my own temptation. So I saw somebody come out with Furnace. I was like, oh, good catch. I've heard good things about that. I see somebody holding Fort in their hand right now. I saw somebody coming out with that Rising Sun when it's all in the big box, which is just going to be a disaster for storage. But I'm thrilled for them. I'm so excited, especially to the person who got Rising Sun. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm just very excited of everybody getting their purchases. And so it feels feels a bit weird to be a creeper being like, what you get? But I think that's also our natural inclination as well. So I might go back to doing that, or I might go and get some cash out. I feel the temptation. I should just go play some games. But honestly, this to me, this is my convention. Call it deal-a-thon. If there's ever a room and board meetup or whatever, we're gonna have a very similar thing. And I mean, like, this is years down the road, but the rule will be in place: 50% off MSRP, everything. So when you're moving in there that you're getting 50% and you're getting the deals. And like, yeah, you can contribute your games and they'll sell, and you may not get as much as you would if you wanted to, corner the market, but I'm sorry, 50% off MSRP. And if it's out of print, I don't care. It's still 50% off. So Battlestar, yeah, $30. That's what you're getting it. That's what you're getting it for. I give them away for free. I lose money on these things. Anyway, that's 10 years down the line when it happens. That's the mandate. Because it feels so good, and I'm so excited for all these people. But also, I would have waited. I would have waited till at least 2. Right? And yet I'm immediately walking to an ATM. Oh no. Control yourself. Chris, this is Chris from the past. Hopefully talking to Chris from the future. And make responsible choices. Just do it. I am being responsible. There's so many deals. Oh no. Date. Every ATM I went to was locked. Because I was trying to, find my own bank. Because, obviously, can't pay the $3 fee. That would be absurd. $3 fee for convenience. So I spent much longer than I should have. But now I'm heading back. We're ready to roll. I also got a piece of pizza because I was feeling faint. Probably with the allure of all those deals. Or because, I haven't eaten one or the other. I'm pretty sure it's the first one. Anyway, let's get back to it. Let's finally play some friggin' games and just get in the convention hall. And I'm probably not going to talk to you ever again until the end. So maybe I'll do some B-roll or something. Okay, bye. And I want to be clear. It's not because I don't love you all. I do. I really do. Having you here with me is everything I ever wanted. But I also want to play some games. So, but I just didn't want you to feel bad, right? Like I do want to talk to you. Okay, bye.
We're all going to take turns playing various actions, and your three.
All right. I told you I'd be back, but it's late at night. Heading back home. Just a recap of the day, really. Might as well talk to you all and stop the rumbling in my tumbling from happening, because it's I spend too much time playing games and not enough time eating food. And those are good problems to have, I think. It was great. I'm actually pretty disappointed that I won't be able to make it back tomorrow, because it would be another fun day of gaming and update on, well, everything. So what did I do? What did my day pertain? I went back into the open gaming area, and I was standing there for, 30 seconds, a minute, looking aimlessly, sad, scared, alone in the world. And then two lovely people said, "Hey, you look like you want to play a game." And I said, "Yeah, I do." And they said, "Let's play a game." And then we looked at the library shelves, and they said, "Tell us a game that you can teach us, and then we'll tell you what we can teach you." And I didn't want to say, "Well, I don't want to play games that I know, so you do it." But then I did, and I pushed them. No, that's not true. Then we saw Brass Birmingham because we were near the B section, and I was like, "Well, I just played Brass Birmingham, and I don't own it, and it was great." They're like, "We've never played it, and we want to." So we sat down, played a lovely game of Brass Birmingham. Another lovely gentleman joined us, and let's try to get some light as we head into the darkness. Played that, and we took a break to go to the Bring and Buy because, you boys got to have us 4 p.m. or bust. I don't know why I talk like that sometimes, but you get what you get. You can switch streams anytime. No, please don't. Please, I desperately need you to be here. Yeah, and so I picked up, but I would show you, or I just tried to show you, and the camera looked horrendous. I picked up a copy of Peak Oil for $10, which I'm pretty stoked about because I really, really enjoyed Peak Oil Profiteer, which I did a review on last year, and I'm excited for that to arrive, so I figured why not try Peak Oil. It's more worker placement I hear than area control, but I like worker placement. You're going too fast. It's one of those nights, I guess, eh? And then I also got Season 1 of Dice Throne for $20. Not too bad, if I do say so myself. Take that, Krampus versus Santis. Because I'm pretty stoked. There were a couple of copies of Dice Throne floating around, and there were... Here, I splurged, because there were a couple, like 2 packs of characters out there for $10 each. Or there was a pack for 20, which has 6 heroes in it. So I got that. And yeah, I'm fairly excited about that. Then we got back, we finished Brass Birmingham, we managed to pause exactly as we headed into the second phase, when we headed into the rail age, basically. So that was kind of, neat. We finished that up. Took a long time, but it was worth it. It was still pretty fun. And I was pretty proud of myself for being able to teach it fairly effectively Although I guess that would, the real judgment would be in the hands of the players that I taught it to, but I think fairly effectively, and a little bit of time, so we played that. And then I met up with my friend Billy, who was waving in the video, my new friend, and that was, well, everybody who I met at the convention, kind of a new friend. But we played, we banged out a quick game of Seasons in person, and that was great because I normally only play that on Board Game Arena, and I've played it in person now twice. And on Board Game Arena, well, 3,500 times. But because it's so quick, right? It's so quick. That's over the years and years. So it was nice playing in person with somebody who knew it and who was also fairly quick about it as well. So that was fun. And then we grabbed Inish off the shelf, and we said, hey, there are these little stands where you can say, we're looking for players, and we're looking for someone to teach us. Well, we found players. We did not find anyone to teach us. So we taught ourselves. And that was a good time as well. That was really fun. So that was great. And then I looked around trying to find Jenna Rose from the Board Game Garden. But I think her and Francis had already headed off back to their homes. So Jenna, we'll have to hang out at another time. That's cool. And speaking of Canadian content creators as well, then I got to play some Mountain Goats with JP from a little channel called Little Big Thumbs, which is cool. And he's a super nice guy, and we found out that we grew up in the same town, London, Ontario. So that was pretty cool. I kind of wish I had gotten to play more. Brass Birmingham did kind of take up from 1 till like 6, really, but that was also because there was the teach, and we took about an hour and a bit break to go to the bring and buy auction. My light's really dying here. We took like an hour and a half trip to go to the auction, basically. But you know what is really cool, and what I love that is my takeaway from this little convention, is that I feel so much more of a kinship with the various people that I got to play with, and I got to play with a lot of great people. I mentioned this before. Like, if I wasn't coming in a media capacity, I probably wouldn't go by myself, right? I would be too nervous, and I'd say, I'll just stay at home and organize people who know me and whatever. But I'm really glad that I ended up going, because everyone who ran into was great and normal, and there's a herd of raccoons, Toronto's mascot. It's official, don't look it up, heading towards me right now. But I feel like there's this wonderful kinship that can happen at these smaller conventions, and because they're smaller, you're going to run into these people more too. And I know it was just a day, but even when I was wrapping up and I was talking to a few people at the end of the night, I saw pretty much like a whole slew of people who I'd played games with earlier, and finishing up with their various games, because we all just kind of played one game together, and then we went on our various ways. But I loved that. I really did. It was lovely. It was an awesome first time at Breakout, and it is something that I am absolutely interested in attending the next time they have it. It feels weird because when you hear things like, oh, there's a 200 plus library, almost 300, well, I know a lot of the crazy collectors out there, well, a lot of people have large board game collections, right? And so that doesn't necessarily feel that large, but you're not going to play 300 games in the time. There will be games that you haven't played. There were games on the shelf that I wanted to play that we didn't get to play. I wish the open gaming area had stayed open all through the night, but obviously you need somebody to be there to check out games, etc. So I understand why it has to close, but all in all, it was a very lovely Breakout Con, and a longer vlog than Origins. I guess I had more things to film. Maybe not a longer vlog, but probably, because I think I'll leave it all in, and you can tell me if it was too long moving forward. There's something about a smaller con and a good meetup where you create this sense of community. And having gone there as a single player, I think I would have been satisfied even if I had a bit more trouble finding a game. There seemed to be quite a few single players there who didn't come with anyone, who were just looking around, and everybody seemed incredibly warm and inviting, and I think that speaks to the team of Breakout. Now I'm just sucking up so they give me another media pass next time. But it speaks to the team of Breakout and that sort of diversity that Pete was talking about when we were talking together, that I think he should be rightfully proud of. And I talked to some people as well who said that was a huge exciting factor for them as well. Janessa, who walked us through, she was saying, yeah, like there's so many women who just come by themselves and not like with a spouse, and that's a cool thing, that the hobby is expanding and that it is a safe space for everybody and not just straight white men, which is important, I think. No, but the sense of community that is created and the openness and warm environment that I found at Breakout was really great. And so I would encourage everybody to, even if you are like a solo player, or you wouldn't have a group that you'd be going with, and you have a local convention, do it. Like, I know you don't want to. I don't want to. But when you get over the hump, it actually makes for a pretty fun day. And I had a wonderful time playing games with some very fun people, and just making new friends and having a good day. So I hope you're having a wonderful day as well whenever this launches. Thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting. I enjoyed myself, so I hope you did too. And gee, I was supposed to say something. I don't have a catchphrase. I don't have a catchphrase. But here's one I just came up with. Remember that you're somebody's reason to smile. And yeah, you are. I'll see you in the next video.